Hi guys, this is Vidya and I hope you're doing well. So Diwali is around the corner and so are the holidays, which is officially the cleaning season of the year. But if you're a new mom, you don't have time for that, right? You don't have time to deep clean your home and make it all Pinterest worthy. You barely have time to just get through the day without completely losing it. At least that's how it is for me. So these are a few things that save my sanity and make me feel like I'm totally, not out of control, even when sometimes things around me are. So the first tip or hack that I have, I call it the 2 minutes rule, which essentially means getting small bits of time out of your day to do things that you otherwise would have put off. So what I do is whenever I have a couple of minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I set a timer and I just tell myself that I'm going to do this just for those 2 minutes and then I'm not going to look at it. Usually what happens is I get into a rhythm and I keep doing it until the task is completed. And in other times when I'm really in a pinch for time and if something else is more important, I stop the task after 2 minutes, but I still come out feeling better that I've done something about it. And at the end of the week, those little 2-minute chunks add up, whether it is going through your mail or deleting some old pictures, or whether it is responding to some emails, updating addresses, folding laundry, whatever it is, those little 2-minute chunks really help keep things in control, while at the same time giving you a sense that you've made some headway in that task. Next one is a lifesaver for me when I'm trying to tidy up the house, which is to have lots of bins and baskets around in which you can just throw things. It's called macro organizing. Whether it's toys or clothes or in the kitchen or laundry, whatever it is, have like separate bins for different things and don't worry about organizing each bin. Toy organization is probably a whole different topic, but in short, I have different bins for different activities and one for books and one for, miscellaneous toys, things like that. So it's one, it makes it easy for him to find something that he's looking for. And secondly, it makes it much easier for me to clean up. Like for example, this is a bin with all of his crayons and markers and brushes and things that he uses to scribble and draw and stuff. So if this box of crayons has, exploded in the living room, I don't need to put every single crayon back in the box. I just have to throw them all in this bin and we'll still be okay. And when I have a couple of minutes, I can clean up each bin, or like a bin for all the papers that he can reach for, like coloring books and stuff. And I have a bin for like blocks and one for vehicle toys. So the biggest advantage is that your child will know where to look for things and they won't, make a mess trying to find a particular toy they're looking for. So it gives them a sense of appreciation for tidy spaces. Like if they know where things go, they're more likely to put them back. It's really simple. Trust me, if you come to my house unannounced, there's a 50% chance that my house is clean. The other 50% it is a complete chaos. But even if you give me a 30-second or a 1-minute notice, like even if you call me from the parking lot and say that you're coming over, I can make it look presentable. Not that it's the most important thing to look a certain way for other people, but it makes me look like I've not completely given up on life, or if someone really judgmental is coming over, right? So baskets are my best friend. When my son was a baby, I used to think that I need to spend every single moment with him when he's awake, like engaging him, playing with him, doing something, spending quality time with him. What ended up happening was all the chores got pushed off to his nap times, which is the only time I would, have any chance of getting some rest and peace. So it was starting to take a toll on me. I started making some chores a part of our daily routine and not something that happens behind the scenes. So things like unloading the dishwasher, doing the laundry, like my son helps me with putting clothes in the dryer. We make it a fun game, like doing vacuuming the floors, things like that. Especially if you don't have any help and you have to do it all yourself, it's really helpful to make it part of a routine without feeling like it's something that has to happen only when your child is asleep. Two things happen because of this. One, the child learns a little bit of responsibility and that they are part of a family and they can contribute something to make everyone's life easier. Even if they're really young, they're still learning this. Second thing that happens is when your child is taking a nap, it frees up some of your time to do other things. Like you could take a shower or take a little nap or read a book or something that keeps you more grounded. And of course, I would pick chores that are safe to do around a baby. I wouldn't pick anything that involves cleaning supplies or chemical cleaners or, you know, things like that. So be wise what chores you would want to do with your child, but definitely involve them in your daily routine. When you have little children, your house is going to be messy. And for a lot of us, it's a cause of stress when everything is a mess and the house is covered with stuff. Before we had kids, everything was like in our control and we could keep things the way we wanted. But suddenly this little creature is going around destroying things, throwing things around everywhere. So it causes a lot of anxiety for us. If that's the case, I would recommend containing the mess. So this is what I do on a daily basis in my home, because I don't like it when my whole home gets taken over by stuff. So I like to designate certain areas where it's okay to make a mess and try to contain it in that area. So Vikrant can do whatever he wants there without me having to constantly nag at him to put things away until he's done doing whatever he's doing. And when he wants to move to another part of the home, I would want him to clean up that before, you know, completely destroying that area. I kind of feel like the whole house is not out of control, but there's only this area that I have to tackle later on. And Vikrant also has kind of understood that he can be free to do whatever he wants. And then when he's ready to move on to something else, he has to first clean this up and then do that. Of course, there's exceptions to this. Sometimes, you know, things don't work as we want them to, and of course it's with a toddler, things are unpredictable. So I don't like put my foot down every single time, but it's a general guideline that I follow. My next tip is to not have anything that will stress you out if it gets dirty or broken. So you can put all those crystal decorative items or bowls or fancy vases, you can put those in a box and put them away for the time being for your own peace of mind. You can bring them out later. There will be a time when your child is not destroying every single thing, but it's much easier on your you know, sanity to keep those things away for the time being. You can have you know, pretty items around the house. You can have things that make you feel happy, but make sure they're not something that, you know, will stress you out if something happens to them. A lot of people ask me about my sofas and how I keep them so white and clean. A lot of you comment as well, which is so funny. The answer is removable covers, you guys. There's nothing simpler. I just take off all the covers whenever they get a little dirty and put them in the laundry and in the dryer, and they come out completely fresh and clean. There's nothing easier than that, and I feel kind of good knowing that I've gotten all the dirt out. I would rather see the dirt and know when to clean it instead of just sitting on a dirty sofa for months together. So I find it really easy to maintain. I also suggest finding your triggers. Like, we all have those one or two things that really annoy us and push us over the edge. Like, you might be okay on the house front, you might be okay if your laundry is not folded, but a sink full of dishes really stresses you out. So things like that, if you could identify one or two things in your day that completely stress you out if you don't do them, and just do those things first. Ideally, I know it feels much better to do everything and finish all your work and just sit down, but it never happens. Realistically, with a child, you never know what's going to happen. You never know how much time you're going to have. So do those things that stress you out first, whether it is, you know, whether it seems logical or not. Do those things that make you feel good once you've done them. So identify those triggers. And lastly, just like we have triggers that annoy us, we also have some things that make us feel better instantly. So I would really suggest finding one or two things that you love doing and make you feel better immediately, and making time for that in your daily life. It could be something as simple as having a cup of coffee when your child is taking a nap, or a 10 minutes workout session, or a 10-minute yoga session, or, you know, reading a book. Or some people like self-care, so getting your eyebrows done or having a small at-home facial. Whatever it is that makes you feel better, make sure that you have some minutes, a few minutes to spare to invest in yourself. And it's not like this time is going to waste. This is an investment for the rest of your day to go well. This is going to uplift your mood for the rest of the activities in your day that are so, you know, overwhelming at sometimes. So I know it's hard. I struggle with this all the time. If my mom is watching it, she's probably going, why don't you listen to your own advice, right? So it is a reminder that we have to make for ourselves every single day. When you're doing this, try to savor it and not get lost in a mental chatter. Like when I'm having a cup of coffee, I sometimes get lost in the next thing that I need to do, or go through a mental checklist, or worry about something. So I have to remind myself that this is my time and try to block everything else out. Like it's okay, everything else can wait. The world is not going to come to an end in those 10 minutes that you're relaxing. And I would love to know what you guys do for self-care, or certain tips that help you from going completely insane. I would really appreciate it. It helps all of us out. So I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section, and I'll see you another time. Until then, take care. Bye.